how to choose a DJ name is one of the hardest parts about being a DJ. It seems so simple, but if you get big, then you're going to be stuck with that name, or you're going to have that name for the rest of your career. So you don't want to be stuck with a gimmick or something that you will later come to hate. So these are just going to be some quick tips on how you can choose a name that you won't hate in a few years' time. Now, the most obvious is to see whether you can use your own name, of course. So there are big name DJs that do this, Armin van Buuren, Martin Garrix. Like, there's plenty out there, you'll know some. But what you want to do when you're doing this is you want to make sure your name is unique, because when people Google it, you need to be the first result. So if your name's Bob Walker, then chances are you don't want to do this. So if you have a unique enough name and you like it, then you can go ahead and just use that. If you don't like your name, or if you have a longer name, then another thing to do is use an acronym of your name. So these can be simple letters. One example of this would be JFB, who is a 4-time UK DMC champion. And it's a slight variation on his name. Now, how I got my name is another option. I got my nickname at university, and that's what I use as my DJ name. So Maison was my nickname at uni. There's no point going into the story why, but as a slight variation of the spelling, it's unique in Google, and it works. I don't mind it, and my friends all know me by that name anyway. The only caveat I have here is that Maison in French means house, and I don't play house music. So maybe that was a bit of a silly choice, but people pretty quickly realise that I'm into bass-heavy music. Drum and bass is my one true love. So it doesn't bother me too much. And to be honest, not many people have told me that, oh yeah, that means house. So I don't worry too much about that. But just make sure if you're using your nickname, 1, you actually like being called it, and 2, that it doesn't mean anything stupid. Now, when you choose a name, like I've said, you need to make sure it comes up in Google if people search it, because they need to be able to find you. But the other thing you're going to want to do is check that it's available across all the social networks, because ideally you would have exactly the same name across all networks. And this is a great website to do it, namecheck.com. You just put in your DJ or the DJ name you want to use, and it will tell you all in one go whether it's available on all platforms. So then you can go out and register all of those. And what I do suggest is, even if you don't intend on using all of them and only focusing on a few, it's worth just setting them all up so you're reserving that name, because the last thing you want is 9 of your social media networks to have the same name and then to have one different. We've all seen it where people list their social media networks and there's slight variations, and that just makes things messy. So use this website and make sure that your name is available. Now, the other thing is, if you're not sure about your DJ name, then obviously ask some of your best friends, because if anyone's going to take the mick out of your name and make you feel stupid about it, it's going to be your best friends. So ask them their opinion, whether it's good or bad. But also remember that names are subjective. So some people might not like them, whereas if you love it and, it's not too easy to take the mick out of, then just go for it. It's more just, if you need a bit of confirmation or a bit of feedback, then it's worth asking your friends what they think. Now, I want to mention another thing that's based on studies in the business world, and that is to make your name memorable. And the studies show that people who have a memorable name do better in business. And this is, of course, going to be true in the DJ world as well. And it makes sense, because you want someone who has come across you or found your mixes to then be able to find you later online, which they won't be able to do if they can't remember who you are. So the ideal is to keep your name short and memorable. So that's just another tip for your DJ name. You could even test it out by telling a few friends or people your name and then ask them a week or two later what it was and see if they still remember, because it is going to make a difference to how memorable or how successful you potentially could be down the line. All right, so they were just some very quick tips and ideas on how to choose your DJ name and make sure it's available on the social networks and that you can be found on Google. There is a lot more on the website if you want to go through and check and get some more ideas, as well as links to various sites that will help you, name generators and things like that. If you go to bestdjsetup.com/DJ names. Thank you for watching.